The MAGA Republicans were losing it on Friday, leaders in the Senate and the House and those in Donald Trump's cabinet, to try to spin the horrible jobs number. One of the worst jobs reports really in recent American history. And the downward revisions, meaning the job losses that were not accounted for, and let's just call it what it was, the fake Trump job reports from May and June. We had a downward revise that by 258,000 jobs. That's never happened since like 1979. I've been flagging it. I mean, remember that June jobs report right before Trump signed the disastrous budget bill, and we saw those ADP private payroll data that showed a job loss of 33,000, but miraculously 24 hours later, Trump posted 147,000 jobs were created. And I'm like, he just uses the number 47 because he's the 47th president. It's so obviously a fake number. It's quite literally impossible based on the ADP numbers. Well, it turns out that that was revised down, where basically no jobs were created that month. This past month, they claimed 74,000 jobs were created. But if past is prelude for the revisions, I think we lost jobs in the month of July as well. And this is not good. I mean, listen to what MAGA Republican Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana had to say. Here, play this clip.
Everybody in Washington now seems to be an economist, and some of them just don't know what they're talking about. Taking their advice is like, it's like taking the advice of a nun about sex. And a lot of them are trying to score political points. Let me try to be as objective as I can. It wasn't a good jobs number. It wasn't. The job market is softening. Our business people are creating fewer jobs. But on the other hand, unemployment stayed steady at 4.2%. We had job growth last month, annualized about 3%. Inflation has not spiked. Point three, you've got to put.
You were almost objective there for a second, Senator Kennedy, except inflation is surging right now, except you've just embraced the job numbers that we know are going to be revised downward again, as the others were. And even on Fox, they were saying that the 4.2% unemployment rate seems also like a fake number if you just look at the the job cuts that are taking place right now. The number doesn't make sense. So then they bring on the MAGA Republican Lori Chavez DeRemer, the anti-labor secretary, and she goes, look, there may have been a not so great of a job report, but we're putting American workers first. Here, play this clip.
The president has done a wonderful job in these trade deals. We're seeing more and more countries come to the table, and this is another leg of the stool that can be assisting the American worker and the American business, and he's choosing not to do so. We need those interest rates down so that our businesses can borrow more money at a cheaper rate and invest in their companies, invest in the American economy, and grow this economy even better. We've seen positive job growth. We have seen consumer confidence go up. We've seen unemployment hold steady. While we could have seen better jobs numbers, right now we're seeing American workers are being put first. Native-born workers account for all of the job growth, and that's key. And the president is going to lean in, and all of his secretaries are going to lean in. And I can tell you this, what I'm hearing on the ground is positive. People are excited about what's happening on the ground. We're setting the table for a positive economy, and the American worker is going to win in this occasion because the president has their back.
One quick point.
He absolutely doesn't. Legs of a stool, or Senator Kennedy said, like asking a nun for advice on sex. What are y'all even talking about? The consumer confidence is up. No, it isn't. Quite literally, everything is light. Let's bring in Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow. State Senator McMorrow, great to see you running for United States Senate seat in Michigan. You heard what these MAGA Republicans had to say. They said that this is great. The American people are happy. This is great for the American worker. Well, you're there in Michigan. What are you seeing, Senator?
I mean, what we're seeing is don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Nothing is working right now. We've got our automakers are gearing up for the worst. Ford just announced that they are taking out a massive loan to gird for the worst, that their profits are being slashed because of the impacts of tariffs. And we just held a hearing in the state legislature in the Senate Oversight Committee, on which I serve as a vice chair, that shows that consumer confidence is at its lowest level in decades. And, just as a reminder, all of this was man-made. This was because Trump decided to do all of these things, not because of a pandemic or a recession or the economic downturn like we saw in 2007, 2009. He chose to do this, and it's just a mess on the ground right now.
You have all of these fake trade deals that not all of them. You have like 6 or 7. There's no paperwork to them. So they're not binding. We don't get to see what they actually are. There are social media posts, but American car manufacturers in Michigan are pissed because even if you just take, I guess, the one thing that's from the social media post, where it's like a 15% tariff on Japan, the UK, and the European Union, the American car manufacturers are like, so wait, we get hit with the tariffs from all of these parts of 25 to 50%, depending on them. Even if we build in America, every time we import in, we're getting hit with the tariffs. The countries aren't eating it. But now you've given a leg up on that stool of yours to Japan, the UK, and the European Union. What are you hearing about that?
It's so frustrating. So for your viewers, a lot of people may not know that in the process of manufacturing a car, that vehicle may pass back and forth between the Michigan and Canadian border upwards of more than a dozen times, with all of the parts and all of the assembly that come in between the various suppliers, putting all the pieces together. So if that gets tariffed every single time and passed on to the automaker, you better believe that's going to be passed on to the customer. So we can see prices go up thousands of dollars for a new vehicle. And exactly to your point, because this isn't in writing. There are truths that's on Truth Social. He's saying one thing. He's trying to get to these 15% trade deals with all of these countries. With Canada, he's like, well, maybe I'll give him a little more time. Everything is in 2 weeks. I'll make a decision in 2 weeks. You cannot plan your business based on the feelings of an old man truth socialing what he's going to do tomorrow or the next day. That's not how business works.
But a lot of these billionaires are spending a lot of money against you. And my dogs clearly don't like that either. You could hear them in the background. So and the audience loves hearing the dogs bark during important interviews. So we'll just leave that in there. But let's talk about it. I mean, you have, the same guy, the same billionaire who's doing the unlawful gerrymandering in Texas is supporting your Republican opponent, former Congress member Turner out there. What's going on there?
That's right. So look, Mike Rogers is back and running for election here in Michigan. This is a previous member of Congress. He ran for Senate here in Michigan just last year, and he lost by less than 20,000 votes to Alyssa Slotkin. So last week, Donald Trump came in, endorsed Mike Rogers. He cleared the field on the Republican side. There was another member of Congress, Bill Huizenga from West Michigan, who had already decided he was going to run. And then Donald Trump called him and said, stand down. And Huizenga said, okay. That's what's happening right now. So he's cleared the field on the other side. They're making this big bet that if he doesn't have to spend any money, he doesn't have to campaign, he doesn't have to earn the nomination, that they can just skate into the general election. And there's this super PAC supporting him that raised more than $5 million last quarter alone. That is almost entirely funded by this oil baron pastor, this Christian nationalist pastor from Texas, who, yes, is funding the illegal gerrymandering in Texas, is also on record historically for funding efforts to ban abortion, to ban books, to pass voucher schemes, to strip dollars away from public education. He is messing in Michigan elections. This is nothing but a pure power grab by Donald Trump and his worst billionaire supporters to hold on and cling to power no matter what it takes.
What are you hearing in Michigan? Are you seeing changes? We check in with you every 45 days or so. I think we've done about an interview really from the election to now. And, Michigan unfortunately went for Trump in 2024. Are you seeing buyer's remorse, regrets as you're traveling the state for your race as United States Senator? What are you seeing?
Look, I want to just set the field here. So Donald Trump did narrowly win election here in Michigan, but he didn't even clear 50% of the vote overall. So there were some people who voted for Donald Trump and nothing else. We saw this happen, which is why we now have Alyssa Slotkin as a U.S. senator. So we have a Democratic senator in a state that Trump won. There are a lot of people that stayed home and a lot of people who may have voted for him because he promised to do things like bring their costs down, to make their lives better. We are right now on a statewide brewery tour. I am very proudly the 2025 Beer Defender of the Year from the Michigan Brewers Guild. So they've been helping us put these events together. And we're taking this all over the state and inviting people to just come, grab a beer, get to know me. No question is off limits. And these events are packed. We have so many people coming out, including families and a lot of young men who are looking at what's happening right now, who maybe didn't vote, maybe voted for Donald Trump, who are expressing a lot of frustration that this is not what they voted for, that things are not working, but also telling us that things have not been working for a long time. So that's a lot of the message of our campaign, that yes, Donald Trump is taking a chainsaw to the government. It's going to get torn down to the studs. All of our institutions are going to be destroyed. But it's not enough just to go back to the way things were, because that didn't work for a lot of these guys. We got to build something new. So it's been great to hear directly from people. And the fact that we see our events getting larger and larger and larger, even 16 months before this election, is a really good sign.
Where can people find out more about the campaign?
You can find us at McMorrowforMichigan.com. We're going to need all the help we can get. So if you're able to donate, please donate. If you want to sign up to volunteer, Michigan is a beautiful place in the summer and the spring and the fall, and we could use you out here. And I will take you out for a beer at one of our brewery tour stops.
Love it. State Senator Mallory McMorrow, we appreciate you running for the United States Senate seat there in Michigan. Keep us updated.
Will do.
Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.